The House of Mirrors. Isaiah woke before dawn to the sound of rain drumming against the kitchen roof. 7 days now, 168 hours. He lay still on his cot, listening to the rhythm of water on wood, and thought about how rain could be both blessing and curse. It would make tracking harder when they ran, wash away scent and footprints. But it would also make the roads treacherous, slow their progress, leave them exposed to cold and sickness. 7 days. He rose and dressed in the clothes Colonel Belmont had provided. Clean trousers, a shirt without holes, shoes that actually fit. The irony wasn't lost on him. He was being given better treatment precisely because he was valuable property, like a fine horse being groomed before sale. Except he wasn't going to be here long enough for the colonel to profit from his investment. The kitchen was already alive with activity when he entered. Abigail stood at the stove, her face gleaming with sweat from the heat. Their eyes met for the briefest moment, no more than a heartbeat, but in that instant he saw her fear and determination mirrored back at him. 7 days, her expression said. Ruth sat in the corner, playing with corn husks, too young to understand that her entire world was about to change. "Morning, Isaiah," Abigail said, her voice carefully neutral. "Coffee's hot." "Thank you." He poured himself a cup and retreated to the colonel's study, where yesterday's ledgers waited. The room smelled of pipe tobacco and old leather, the scent of power and privilege. Isaiah sat at the desk and opened the account books, scanning columns of numbers that represented human lives reduced to dollars and cents. Thomas's name had already been crossed out, replaced with a notation, "Sold to J. Whitmore, trader, $950. $950. That's what a man's life was worth. What Thomas's 23 years of labor, his hopes, his dreams, had been reduced to. A line in a ledger. Isaiah's hand trembled as he picked up the pen. He forced himself to breathe slowly, to calm the rage that threatened to surface. Not now. Not when he was so close. The morning passed in a blur of numbers and careful penmanship. Colonel Belmont came and went, satisfied with Isaiah's work, commenting on how much easier this would make managing the plantation's affairs. Mrs. Belmont appeared twice, her pale eyes sweeping the room as if searching for evidence of some unnamed crime. Each time, Isaiah kept his head down, his expression blank, playing the role of the grateful, loyal servant. It was nearly noon when Hannah entered with a tea tray. Mrs. Belmont followed close behind, her presence a cold shadow in the doorway. "Set it there, girl," Mrs. Belmont said sharply, "and don't dawdle." Hannah's hands were steady as she arranged the tea service on the side table. Isaiah didn't look up from his work, though every fiber of his being was aware of her presence, the way she moved, the sound of her breathing. She poured the tea with practiced grace, then turned to leave. "Hannah," Mrs. Belmont's voice cut through the air like a blade. "Come here." Hannah froze, then turned back. "Yes, ma'am?" Mrs. Belmont studied her with those cold, calculating eyes. "You've been looking tired lately? Are you feeling well?" "Yes, ma'am. Just the busy season, ma'am." Mrs. Belmont stepped closer, circling Hannah like a predator. "You're not hiding anything from me, are you? No? Secrets?" Isaiah's pen stopped moving. He could feel the tension radiating from Hannah, could sense the danger in this moment. Mrs. Belmont knew something, or suspected something. The question was how much. "No, ma'am," Hannah said, her voice steady despite the fear Isaiah knew she must be feeling. "No secrets. See that you keep it that way." Mrs. Belmont's gaze shifted to Isaiah, and he felt the weight of her scrutiny. "Isaiah, I trust you're finding your new position satisfactory?" He looked up, meeting her eyes with what he hoped was the right mixture of gratitude and deference. "Yes, ma'am, very much so. The colonel has been most generous. Indeed he has." She moved to the desk, her skirts rustling. "My husband values loyalty above all things. I hope you understand that." "Yes, ma'am." "Good." She turned back to Hannah. "You may go. And Hannah, I'll be watching." Hannah curtsied and left, Mrs. Belmont following her out. Isaiah waited until their footsteps faded before he let out the breath he'd been holding. His hands were shaking now, and he had to set down the pen before he spilled ink across the ledger. 7 days. They just had to survive 7 more days without arousing more suspicion. That afternoon, the rain intensified, turning the world outside the windows into a gray blur. Colonel Belmont canceled the fieldwork again, ordering the men to work on repairs in the barn and the women to various tasks in the house. Isaiah used the disruption to slip away briefly, carrying a message about needing supplies from the smokehouse. He found Moses in the barn, working on harness repairs alongside a dozen other men. The blacksmith's massive hands moved with practiced efficiency, threading leather through brass rings. When Isaiah approached, Moses didn't look up, but his voice was low and urgent. "Samuel's getting worse. Elijah came to me this morning, says he's talking about running tonight, rain or no rain." Isaiah felt ice flood his veins. "Where is he?" "Chicken coop. Crows got him cleaning it out." Isaiah nodded and moved on, trying to appear casual as he made his way across the muddy yard to the chicken coop. The rain soaked through his shirt in seconds, cold and relentless. He found Samuel inside, mucking out the filthy straw, his face a mask of barely contained fury. "Samuel," Isaiah said quietly, glancing around to make sure they were alone. "We need to talk." 7 days, Samuel said through gritted teeth. 7 more days of this. 7 more days of him. He jerked his head toward where Silas Crow stood under the barn's overhang, watching the workers. "I can't do it, Isaiah. I can't wait. You have to." "Why?" Samuel's voice rose dangerously. "So we can have a better chance?" Thomas had plans too. Thomas waited. And look where it got him. Thomas ran alone, without preparation, without help. Isaiah moved closer, keeping his voice low and intense. "We have everything ready. We have contacts, supplies, a route. We have each other, but only if we stick to the plan. And if we get caught anyway, then at least we'll have tried with every advantage on our side." Isaiah grabbed Samuel's shoulder, forcing the young man to look at him. "I know what you're feeling. I know the rage, the fear, the desperate need to just run and keep running. But I also know that 7 days from now, we'll have our best chance. The Belmonts will be gone. Crow will be alone. The weather will be cooler. Everything we've planned for will be in place." Samuel's jaw worked, his eyes bright with unshed tears. "What if they sell me before then? What if they separate me and Elijah?" "They won't. The colonel is focused on Charleston, on the social season. He's not thinking about sales right now, and even if he was, he'd wait until after harvest to get the best price." Isaiah squeezed Samuel's shoulder. 7 days, Samuel, that's all I'm asking. 7 days, and then we run together, all of us, as a family." The words seemed to break something in Samuel. His shoulders sagged, and he nodded slowly. 7 days, he whispered, "but not 1 day more. I swear to God, Isaiah, not 1 day more." 7 days, Isaiah agreed. He left Samuel to his work and made his way back through the rain to the house. As he climbed the back steps, he saw Hannah watching from an upstairs window. Their eyes met across the distance, and in that moment, he saw everything he needed to see. She was afraid, but she was ready. They all were. That evening, as Isaiah worked by lamplight in the study, Colonel Belmont entered with a bottle of brandy and 2 glasses. Isaiah started to rise, but the colonel waved him back down. Stay. I wanted to talk to you." He poured 2 glasses, then slid one across the desk to Isaiah. "Drink. That's not a request." Isaiah picked up the glass, his mind racing. This was dangerous territory. The colonel sat in the chair opposite, studying Isaiah with an expression that was hard to read. "You're an interesting man, Isaiah," the colonel said finally. "Educated, intelligent, capable. In another world, another life, you might have been a teacher, a clerk, perhaps even a lawyer." Isaiah said nothing, waiting. "But this is the world we live in," the colonel continued. "A world with certain structures, certain necessities. You understand that, don't you?" "Yes, sir." "I wonder if you do." The colonel sipped his brandy. "I wonder if you understand how much trust I'm placing in you by giving you this position. How much I'm risking. I'm grateful for the opportunity, sir." "Are you?" The colonel leaned forward. "Or are you just telling me what I want to hear?" The question hung in the air between them, heavy with implication. Isaiah met the colonel's gaze steadily, knowing that any hesitation, any hint of deception, could unravel everything. "I'm telling you the truth, sir. This position is more than I ever hoped for. A chance to use my mind instead of just my back. A chance to prove myself. To prove yourself," the colonel repeated. Interesting choice of words. He stood and walked to the window, looking out at the rain-soaked grounds. "My wife thinks you're planning something. She thinks all of you are planning something. She's convinced that Thomas's escape attempt was just the beginning." Isaiah's heart hammered against his ribs, but he kept his voice calm. Thomas was a fool, sir. He ran without thinking, without planning. That's why he got caught. And you're not a fool, are you, Isaiah? No, sir, I'm not. The colonel turned back, his expression unreadable. No, I don't think you are, which is exactly what worries my wife. He finished his brandy and set the glass down with a sharp click. I'm telling you this as a warning. She's watching. Silas is watching. And I'm watching. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you might be planning, remember this. There is nowhere you can run that we won't find you. Nowhere you can hide that we won't reach. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Good. The colonel moved toward the door, then paused. Oh, and Isaiah, if you're thinking about taking anything with you, maps, papers, supplies, know that I've counted everything in this room. Every piece of paper, every pen, every book. If so much as a single sheet goes missing, I'll know, and then we'll have a very different conversation. He left, closing the door behind him with a soft click that sounded like a cell door locking. Isaiah sat frozen, the brandy untouched in his hand. The colonel knew. Maybe not everything, but enough to be suspicious, enough to be watching. The trap was closing, and they were still inside it. 7 days. It might as well have been 7 years. Late that night, after the house had gone quiet, Isaiah lay on his cot and stared at the ceiling. Rain still fell, softer now, a gentle percussion against the roof. He thought about the colonel's words, about Mrs. Belmont's suspicions, about Samuel's barely contained rage and Hannah's constant surveillance, and little Ruth, who couldn't understand why everyone was so tense. 7 days. They could do this. They had to do this. Because the alternative, staying here, living as property, watching their lives be controlled and diminished, and eventually ended by people who saw them as nothing more than livestock, was worse than any risk they might face on the road north. He thought about his brother, sold to Georgia all those years ago, his sister, taken to Alabama. He thought about Thomas on his way to the brutal plantations of Mississippi. He thought about all the people who had tried and failed, who had died trying to be free. And he thought about the 7 of them, Isaiah, Hannah, Moses, Mercy, Abigail, Ruth, Samuel, and Elijah, and how they were bound together now by something stronger than chains, by hope, by determination, by the simple, profound belief that they deserved to own their own lives. 7 days. The rain fell, the night deepened, and Isaiah counted down the hours until the moment when everything would change, one way or another. When they would either find freedom or die trying. Either way, the waiting was almost over.
Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures. Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures.